The boys are here on Racing to Win, Paul Lally and Tom Wood. And Tom, you know it's a big day because we've come outside for the show.
We have, and what a day we've come outside for, because it's been raining cats and dogs Friday morning at Sha Tin. The weather's going to improve over the weekend. Those typhoons that we've had are going to disappear, and we're set for some hot racing this weekend with, of course, the three big dress rehearsals, the official trials. I don't think there'll be too many surprises through them. I think the big three will prevail. It's a matter of who can run second, third, and maybe sneak their way into the field if they're sort of on the verge at the moment.
Absolutely, and it's great to see one of the world's best back, Paul, in Romantic Warrior.
And he's looked so good in training. Has Romantic Warrior. His trials have been good. As Tom said, it'd be a major shock, I think, if in particular if he got beaten. I can't see that happening. But all in all, it's a good meeting, and there's a good undercard as well. And
from a punting perspective, no jackpots.
No jackpots for the meeting at all.
All right, let's move on to the meeting details for Sunday. 11 races, so it's an early start. 12:30 is the first. We race on the B+2 course, and it is the three Group 2s that we preview on the show. Starting with race number 7, it is the BOC HK Jockey Club Sprint. California Spangle second up, and he carries 7 pounds less. Victor the winner has the cheek pieces going on. Car Ying Rising. He was too good for Helios Express and California Spangle last time, but he does cop a wider draw. Both Lucky With You and Flying Ace are 5-time course and distance winners. Mugen has won second up in the past. Helios Express so good first up. Down to Beauty Waves, Co-Partner Prance and Majestic Night rounds out the field for the sprint. Looking to the speed map, Paul, where does Car Ying Rising end up?
I think he can get across from barrier number 10. There'll be a race between him and Co-Partner Prance, but Zac knows Co-Partner Prance very well. But I think he'll be able to get across with that superior speed, which would make it a little bit awkward for Co-Partner Prance. He might be trapped wide in that case. California Spangle has crossed Victor the winner last couple of times they've met, so I think he'll go to the lead, and Victor the winner will probably have to take the trail. Invincible Sage is another one that can come across from a wide draw, and he should be able to slot in.
He is the boom horse of the Hong Kong sprinting ranks, is Car Ying Rising. The two men that know him best are trainer David Hayes and jockey Zac Purton.
As a 4-year-old on their 8th start, I haven't trained a smarter horse. I've had some very, very good Group 1 sprinters, but this fella's showing he has all the hallmarks to be very, very special. He's interesting, he's a good track worker and he trials well, but when it's race day, he seems to know, and he goes to another level. He's got a good appetite, it's consistent, he's physically developing as an individual.
This horse is just a beautiful horse to ride. From the first time I sat on him in a trial, he had a great attitude. He was very willing to do what you want him to do. He's very intelligent. He's got great gate speed, which is a huge asset. He puts himself in the right spot. He always showed us that he had some talent and some ability. He was a little bit lightly framed, he's a little bit immature, but he always tried his best. In the last 6 months, he's developed a lot physically, he's settled down a lot mentally, and he's turned into a proper horse.
Chung Fa's a wonderful facility. When he was a young horse and not famous, he was running well out of there, and so I didn't want to change things. You get the use of the grass track whenever you want, and there's treadmills, spas, all the things to keep the horse happy. I think he thrives on the change of environment, and the change of environment, it stimulates him. So I know that little routine, changing his environment 3 or 4 days before the main event, it's worked every time he's performed. So we probably won't change that. It's a formula we've stumbled onto.
23年嘅8月份就到香港，咁啊8月中開始喺沙田操練，咁接近9月尾嘅時候，佢就第一次上嚟從化啦。咁來來回回其實都喺呢度生活咗成超過1年嘅時間㗎啦。從化馬場呢度附近周圍都冇其他嘅影響啦，冇飛機經過啦，咁所以相對上咧，從化呢個環境係靜少少嘅，比起沙田。
You know, that was his first test against some of the elite horses at that level.
Just keeps rising, rising and rising. His name, Car Ying Rising. He won the Premier Bowl.
He put an unbelievable performance together, and he doesn't need to be any better than that. If he can turn up in that form every start, that's all we need.
He's beaten Group 1 winners now. He's just got to do it in the Group 1 when it comes up. You know, it's that close we can touch it. But after the International, we'll head towards the Classic Series. And that's when we'll find out his ceiling and how good he is.
Paul, he's just done everything that David Hayes has asked of him. Does that continue this weekend?
It looks that way, doesn't it? He's looked so good, this horse, this season. He wasn't quite mature last time. He's only been beaten twice, and that was short margins. I think that was because he just wasn't a mature horse. He's the full deal now.
All right, Tom, the horse that ran second in that race, Helios Express, so good first up and smashed the clock doing it.
He did. Gee, he was phenomenal last time out, Helios Express, what he was able to do. Now, I think he's probably best ridden as cold as they possibly can because he has run over the 1,200 metres before. He has had the tendency, if he's sat a little bit close to them, especially sort of midfield somewhere, he has over-raced in a couple of his runs, but he was out the back cold, had something to chase and found the line really strongly. He ran the fastest, 8, 6, 4, 2. He smashed the clock for everything that day. He was just phenomenal with what he was able to do, and I think he's the big improver, and I think it probably tells you something that Hugh Bowman's gone with him rather than going with Invincible Sage, which a horse he has provided him a Group 1 winner.
Absolutely, that was last season on International. I just saw those sectionals on the screen for Helios Express, Paul. Can you see him turning the tables at all with that run under his belt?
Well, look, he's a bit unknown at 1,200 because they tried him all the way out to 2,000 and they were, 1,800 through the 4-year-old series. Back here now at 1,200 metres, I think that's his right distance. I mean, 14, maybe 16 at a stretch. So, look, the way he finished off strongly, he's going to give Kaying Rising a race for sure. He'll be finishing fast.
Tom, let's talk about California Spangle and how you assess him in this race because he was beaten on his merits by Kaying Rising and Helios Express last time.
Yeah, and he's beating Kaying Rising a couple of pounds better off this time round as well. He was pushed forward early to get up on the speed, and I just thought he battled the last sort of 250. It was this time last year he was lining up in the Jockey Club mile, and then they changed tactics and went to the sprint. But I know he's got the big weight here with that £5 penalty of a Group 1 winner, but I think he's going to struggle here. I've got him in the top 4, but I don't think he can beat Kaying Rising, and probably to an extent as well Helios Express the way he finished off.
Yeah, I tend to agree, actually. I see it the same way. I mean, he had his chance last time. The one thing coming out of that race, he's the horse that does meet Kaying Rising better at the weights.
A few of the others, Paul, Invincible Sage, as Tom said, Group 1 winner last season. He's been disappointing his first 2 runs back and pushed out in that trial.
Yeah, he's got a tricky draw as well. And look, I think he can slot in, but it's going to take a good ride to get him into that position. Look, I don't think he's going as well this season, obviously, as he was last season.
I think he's probably struggled with the firmer nature of the tracks recently as well. If it stayed like this on Sunday, he'd be a live chance. But I think we're getting a good line through what Hugh Bowman's done. He's moved on to Helios Express. He rates Invincible Sage highly, but track conditions, I think, have been against him recently.
Oh, horses in the race also, Tom, like How Deep Is Your Love, Mugen. Beauty Waves is very consistent. Co-partner Prance has been good at the Valley. Can you see any of them being a chance in this race?
I think probably the best they can hope for with Beauty Waves is a top 2 or 3 finish. He's the one I'd certainly want to be on in this race as well, outside of the top 2, Helios Express and Kaying Rising. He's been consistent. He's come here, he's won a National Day Cup, and Pierrong's got him going really well. He trialled nicely, so I think he's a live chance for the top 4 for sure.
I think Pierre's got like a couple of good chances there. I quite like Mugen as well. I think his trial was just ordinary Mugen, but you've seen these horses come off those trials and go really well. So I'm not too worried about the trial because we know on race day he's a very good horse.
Great turn of speed. Very
good turn of speed. So he's another one that'll want faster the better with California Spangle, Victor the winner, and you know he's going to get speed.
The first of the Group 2s, Paul, is the sprint. What are your top 4?
Yeah, going to go with Kaying Rising, so no surprises there on top to beat Helios Express. California Spangle in for 3rd. And for 4th, I think this is the one who's going to run 4th for Wider Exotics, but I went with Mugen in the end. 4, 9, 1 and 8.
Yeah, no surprises here as well. The Kaying Rising, definitely the horse to beat. Conditions just get better for him here as well with the weights. So I think he's definitely the one to beat Kaying Rising. Outside of him, I've got number 9 in Helios Express. He's got the 123 pounds as well, and a phenomenal run from him last start. Beauty Waves, number 10, and I'll throw in California Spangle for 4th because he is the class angle in the race, and of course he is a Group 1 winner. So 4, 9, 10 and 1.
That is the preview for the first of the Group 2s. It is the sprint. We're going to take a break here on this very special edition of Racing to Win and come back and look at the mile and hear from Vincent Ho, re Galaxy Patch, and see if he is his new Golden 60 right after this. Welcome back to the preview show for a massive day of racing at Sha Tin on Sunday with the 3 Group 2s as we lead towards HKIR, and we're on to the mile now, and this race gets underway at 4:05 Hong Kong time with Voyage Bubble second up after a huge return. Beauty Eternal is a horse that is a 2-time winner second up. Straight Aaron, everything's been over further for him. Galaxy Patch is so versatile, happy together. He returns on the back of 3 trials. Better Draw for Red Lion. Taj Dragon has the blinkers off, and Cheng Cheng Glory has the visor off and the blinkers going back on. Paul rolling across to the speed map. Tough for Voyage Bubble last time. Does he get a better run this week?
He does. No, it's smaller field. I think he can slot in really nicely in this. Beauty Eternal likes to lead. The last 2 starts he's led and ran really well. Red Lion's drawn ideally inside, but he'll let his stablemate go. I'm sure Beauty Eternal, Red Lion will get the trail. Cheng Cheng Glory, he always puts himself into the race. Taj Dragon's not far away over the mile. Voyage Bubble, we'll be able to slot in. Galaxy Patch can follow Voyage Bubble into the race. Beauty Joy, happy to get him. As you mentioned, Straight Aaron, he needs something a bit further, I think.
Well, Vincent Ho had Golden 60 for so long in these mile races. What a replacement he's got now. Nick spoke to Vincent about his ride, Galaxy Patch.
Galaxy Patch diving the rail, comes at him now, the pair of them hit it. Galaxy Patch, Beauty Joy claim the others. What a horse, Mr. Versatile. Galaxy Patch, geez, a good horse. And Galaxy Patch wins the Sha Tin trophy from a dead heat.
Vincent Ho, many thanks for joining us. It's getting to that time of the year, isn't it, really, when things do really start to heat up a little bit. It's the Jockey Club Trials meeting for IR coming up at the weekend. You've got Galaxy Patch. How much are you looking forward to getting back on board him? He's looked thoroughly exciting.
Yeah, you know, of course, love to ride him again very soon this weekend. And he's following well the other day. Been jumping very well, so we're happy of how his form is. You know, from October to now, he should improve from that.
Last time out, Vincent, in the Sha Tin Trophy, he was devastatingly good. I mean, he's beaten proven Group 1 winners, Voyage Bubble, Beauty Eternal. I mean, it's very strong form. He's taken the scalp of a couple of really good ones.
There's a lineup for the Miners. Geez, a good horse. And Galaxy Patch wins the Sha Tin trophy from a dead heat.
That race was still a handicap race. Now we're getting into those set weights. Of course, it's still 128 to 123, but you know, it's still a little bit of advantage to us. But I mean, it definitely is one of those top-rated miler here. Yeah.
Vincent, in racing, we all love to draw comparisons. Now, I'm going to pose the question to you, obviously. Golden 60 is now retired. He's enjoying a great retirement, the great association you had with him. This guy and Golden 60, are there any similarities? Can you draw comparisons between the pair?
That's not a whip, that's a wand. That ride from Vincent is magic. Golden 60, the superstar. Galaxy Patch, Beauty Joy claim the others. What a horse, Mr. Versatile. Galaxy Patch.
They're very different. Golden 60 is more sort of agile horse. It's not as big as Galaxy, but you know, he's explosive. It felt a bit stronger. Galaxy, it's those great, well-built horses that have, you know, big striding, and he just kept running. So that's a difference. But you know, Galaxy is still young and is learning, so we'll see what he can do.
He's not Golden 60 yet, Tom, but his versatility is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, what he's been able to achieve, Mark, through his limited career, anything from sort of up to 1,000, almost to a Derby trip as well, with what he produced in the Derby. And I think it's probably a little scary for his opposition, because last time out, they're only saying he was about 75% fit. They've got to get him to peak at the right time. I don't think he'll be peaking at the weekend. They want it come the second Sunday in December, but what he did the other day again was terrific. He seems to just stand up and handle sort of any occasion, and he keeps on improving, and he's a little green still, but I think he's going to win at the weekend with what he's shown at the moment, Paul. And again, it's a scary thought for his rivals if he was only 70% there the other day.
Yeah, correct. And look, he's He's an ultimate racehorse. What is his best distance? We don't really know, do we? I mean, the mile obviously is good for him. He's, you know, a 7-time winner from his 13 starts. He's had excuses in a few of the others as well. He gets back, so he does need a little bit of luck in his running, but I think he can follow Voyage Bubble into the race. Now, if anything is going to beat him, I think it'll be Voyage Bubble, because he had a really tough run last time, and we know he's a really strong Group 1 winning horse.
Oh, I was going to ask you about Voyage Bubble, but that's the Quinella?
Yeah, for me it is definitely the Quinella. Look, I'm going with Galaxy Patch as well, because he was so good last time, and he's very hard to oppose. But of the three big ones, if one gets beaten, if Voyage Bubble beats Galaxy Patch, it'll be a minor shock, but only a minor one.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the case as well. Voyage Bubble coming into this, he could have almost run sort of 5th or 6th the other day, but he stuck his neck out late and was able to get his bib in front to run second there ahead of the pack that were all chasing. So there was a lot of merit in that run with the run he had in transit, covering ground, and James McDonald, he's got a great record with the horse as well. So that's a positive as well.
And they've both had quiet trials too, Paul. Nothing wrong with what they did in those trials?
No, not at all. I mean, both are going to, I mean, their grand finals in December, but they're both coming into this race really well. And look, Voyage Bubble will want to sort of have a statement to make, I think, against Galaxy Patch. It's 1-0 this season to Galaxy Patch with that really nice win. But Voyage Bubble did do it tough. So, look, as I said, I think that's a dead set Quinella, these two.
I think not December, but early on in the new year, I think we'll probably see Galaxy Patch attacking 2,000 metres again too, by the sounds of it.
Yep. Well, Vincent might ride Galaxy Patch. James McDonald is on Voyage Bubble. There is also a man called Purton in the race who also has an ace up his sleeve. He reunites with Beauty Eternal.
He's a quirky horse, as we know. He's very temperamental, and little things set him off and worry him. He's always worrying about everything. But as he gets into his prep, he gets a little bit better, and he was still a bit fresh the other day. He never relaxed in front. He wanted to charge along the whole way, and he's not at his best fitness-wise yet, but next run will get him somewhere near that and top him off for his race in December. But on his day, when he relaxes and does everything right, of course, we know he's capable. But when he gets in that mindset of worrying about things, he brings himself undone.
You mentioned the fitness angle. You've been on board for a couple of trials. Have you felt him come on nicely for the trials since that first run?
He's continuing to improve all the time, and it's typical of a size horse and typical of getting him right on the big day. So he's going the right way. But, you know, it's not easy. Like, we've got some good milers here, and he needs to do everything right to give himself a chance.
Actually, going back obviously through last season, I mean, he did win this, didn't he? Second up last season. I know it was a smaller field, but he beat a lot of similar rivals. Obviously, Beauty Joy was the one that chased him closest. So, as you say, he's certainly sort of ready to perhaps, you know, do the double year on.
He was still going through the ratings a little bit back then, and it was sort of a little bit of a different program. But you know, he is what he is. We know him well, but yeah, it's up to him really.
Where's he at, Paul, Beauty Eternal, as opposed to the other horses in the race?
I think they've found the right way to ride him, and that's the front, try and dominate from the front, because the last two runs have both been very good. And saying that, you know, you've got horses that are going to be right on his sort of flanks, like Cheng Cheng Glory, so they're not going to let him get away with cheap sectionals.
Cheng Cheng Glory, Tom, another new rider. He gets more riders than one of the horses at the carousel at Disneyland.
He's had, well, he's up to his 7th different jockey this week, so they love playing jockey roulette with him. There just seems to be no consistency there with what they've done in terms of the jockeys. But he was good, I thought, last time out. But I think with the way the handicaps have fallen here in the previous races, he's had his opportunity to beat a few of these horses. It's a lot tougher for him this time round.
Is there anything outside of those 4 or 5, Paul, that you could see running a race also?
The one that is a little bit of enigma is Beauty Joy, because he can pop up occasionally and run some absolute blinders, then he can run a couple of ordinary races as well. So you just don't know what Beauty Joy is going to do on the day.
Any for you, Tom?
Yeah, he probably would be it. I'm interested to see sort of what they're going to do with Straight Aaron. This is probably sort of the absolute minimum he wants Straight Aaron. His trial the other day wasn't too bad, but they've also got an entry for the Cup in December as well, which is probably the route they're likely to go down. So interesting they go for this race opposed to the race, the Cup over the 2,000 metres, because he probably would have been a live chance, probably best of the rest, maybe there behind Romantic Warrior.
That's the boys' thoughts on the mile. Does Galaxy Patch get it done?
Yeah, I'm going to put him on top. There's a dead set Quinella in this race, I think, with Voyage Bubble though. But I went 5 to beat 1. Cheng Cheng Glory in there for 3rd, and Beauty Eternal from the front and 4th. So 5, 1, 9 and 2.
5 Galaxy Patch for me as well. He's been brilliant through what we've seen so far, and I think even though he wasn't cherry ripe last time out, he'll be a bit closer again this time round, and he's the one they all have to beat, Galaxy Patch. Voyage Bubble, like Paul, I think that's certainly the Quinella in the race. I've got Beauty Eternal, and I'm still not overly convinced. I know he's a Group 1 winner, but he seemed to bully them into submission in that Group 1, where I don't think he's going to get the same sort of terms here, and he didn't really find a great deal last time out, even though he was first up, so he's worth a chance as well in the race. And Beauty Joy is the one I am going to throw in as well. Watch on to see what they do with Stray Darren, and I think it's tough at the bottom for Chang Cheng Glory, but Galaxy Patch the one to beat.
That is the preview on the mile, the second of the Group 2s. Off to a break. The names get bigger after this because we preview the Cup featuring Romantic Warrior. Welcome back to the preview show for the 3 Group 2s here at Sha Tin on Sunday. Now, Paul, the budget didn't extend because we've got an extra race for the last run reminder, so no graphic. They're all on the website. Can you just give us a little sneak peek on
one? I think Mark win. He's not going to be a big price, but look, his last 2 starts are both shown he's really close to a win. I thought he was going to win last time. Got a little bit further back, didn't get the best of run, so I think he's ready to win.
And there's lots on the website too.
There is, yeah. Have a look. It's going well at the moment.
hkjc.com. You can find Paul's last run reminder. But he's back. On Sunday, he is Romantic Warrior.
The Spangle lifts, the Warrior comes, Romantic Warrior takes the lead, and Romantic Warrior wins the derby. He is the perfect racehorse, Romantic Warrior, and he's now a Hong Kong Cup winner.
Romantic Warrior is going to get up by a nose. Romantic Warrior takes out another Group 1.
He's clinging on, Luxembourg driving, Romantic Warrior, I think. What a horse, and he wins it again.
He poses the following horses, does Romantic Warrior. This is the field for the Bank of China Hong Kong Jockey Club Cup. It is race number 9, and Romantic Warrior has his first start since the 2nd of June. Nimble Nimbus goes from the 1800 to the 2000. 5G Patch is a 2-time course and distance winner. La City Blanche has won either side of this trip, 1800 and 2400. Wide draw again for Sword Point. Kaying Generation, he's placed over this distance in the Derby. Ensued carries an extra £8 for his Sasa Ladies Purse win. Last time, Money Catchers run second in a recent trial. Awesome Fluke is a 2-time course and distance winner. And Winning Dragon goes from Class 3 to Group 2 on the back of that win, Paul. But Romantic Warrior, James McDonald back in town, barrier number 1. Where does he end up?
I think he'll try and get on. Well, I think he'll be on leaders back, and he won't want to try. He won't want to get 3 back on the inside. So I think they'll be positive. They'll kick up. Now, Kaying Generation, his best run was sort of the Derby, where he tried to run him into the ground. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries something similar from barrier number 3. Nimble Nimbus likes to go forward. Sword Point likes to go forward. Winning Dragon likes to go forward, and Shude likes to go forward. All those last 3 are drawn a little bit wide. Money Catcher used to be the reliable leader, but he's hopelessly out of form.
Let's talk about Romantic Warrior, Tom. What a season. 6 starts last season for 5 wins, 3 Group 1s in 3 different countries.
His only little fault was the Turnbull first up, and plenty of people willing to pot him after that effort in the Turnbull, and then he came out and of course defeated Mr Brightside in the Cox Plate, and they've not looked back since then to Japan, where his win over there in the Yasuda Kinnan was terrific. He's first up here. He's won this race in the past. His trials, he's had 3 of them. He's looked really good. He's got an official rating of 133, 25 points higher than anything else in the field. He's near on unbeatable here, Paul.
It looks that way. Of the 3 shorties, he's the one I'd be the most shocked if he got beaten. He just, I mean, it's who runs 2nd, 3rd and 4th for me, because he's just looked so good. We know that there's no such thing as a racecourse certainty, but he's drawn one, he's going to get that perfect run, and it's only bad luck or a below par run's going to beat him.
He's his closest thing to a racecourse certainty there is, probably Romantic Warrior here. He comes into this race with those trials, and I think after December it's sort of all up in the air with what they might do after December. There's possibly a trip to the Middle East, but this is the race that they set out to target they want to win a third historic Hong Kong Cup.
Well, here is the trainer himself, Nick, with the trainer of Romantic Warrior, Danny Shum.
It is good. Here a lot of preparation, and all the preparation all come back. Hugh rode him for the trials, and Gary Lau rode him for the track work. They give me the very positive reports. Yeah.
What was interesting, Danny, as well, is that I know he's obviously raced around here, but you brought him down here for a trial as well. Was that always the plan?
No, because I like to try on the turf, but you know, starting, you don't have much chance, so I put him here. But he's been here for 2 winners, so he's got used to Happy Valley. Yeah. So I like to give him a trials on the turf and see how he goes.
Yeah, he certainly knows his way around here. 5 months off the track, Danny, of course, when we last saw him over in Japan, he was magnificent. Just reflecting on last season, I mean, what a season it was with this horse. I mean, you had the win down in Melbourne, you had the win in Japan, you had the wins here locally as well. I mean, it was probably as good as he's ever been.
It's still Romantic Warrior, he's hanging on, oh, he's a star. Romantic Warrior takes out another Group 1.
Yeah, it gives me a very, very happy memories. And we all like to thank Romantic Warrior, because he's such a tough horse. His talent, his genius, yes.
The other part of the Romantic Warrior story, Tom, is also back in town in Hong Kong on Sunday. James McDonald returns for a short stint.
Yeah, off what a terrific Flemington Carnival he had. Broke his own record there with 11 winners through the Carnival. I think he was quoted somewhere saying he probably butchered another 4, so he probably could have had a few more than that. But he's back here. He's got a great book of rides, 9 rides. I think he'd probably kick off the day with Blazing Wind in the first of the day, but he's made no secret his love and affection for this horse, Paul.
Oh, definitely. This is his favourite horse. He says in all interviews around the world. And he's just, again, he's a real tough horse. And I can remember when he was out here and he said this horse shouldn't have won, and then he's come out and won last start here. And he's just, look, he's got a lot of time for that.
And he was one guy that kept the belief after the Turnbull failure when running fourth. You couldn't exactly call it a failure, but he kept the belief that they needed to put a bit more work into him, and he probably still wasn't 100% right when it came to the Cox Plate as well.
Blessed James McDonald, Via Sistina to Romantic Warrior. 2 different hemispheres in the space of about 2 weeks.
Not bad, is it? No. It's amazing. When, I mean, you know, he's obviously one of the world's best jockeys. He gets on to these fantastic horses and rides them accordingly, and that's why he's one of the world's best.
You mentioned Blazing Wind, Tom. James, other rides: Ballistic Wind, Stellar Express, Family Jewel, How Deep Is Your Love, Voyage Bubble, Mastermind, and Tavano. He'll be short price in the Jockeys Challenge.
He certainly will be. Tavano not without a chance. He's coming back to Sha Tin, and also on that list as well, I think, as I said, Blazing Wind and Stellar Express. He's been a little costly though, hasn't he?
He has been a little bit. Yeah, I think he's going to start the day off really well with Blazing Wind, because he looks just ready to win it. Look, he's going to be in massive demand over the next month, isn't he, or the time he's here, and I'm sure the trainers will be queuing up to get his services.
Ballistic Wind, he's one of yours.
Yep.
You got him in?
Yeah, he's definitely in. Yeah, I don't think I've got him on top. I got him in second, but I think he's still going to run well.
All right, let's put you on the spot. Is there one thing that can beat Romantic Warrior?
Yep.
Bad luck?
Yeah, bad luck.
Yep.
Bad luck or a below par run, I think. Looking at the opposition, he's beaten them up fair and square. It's hard to see one of them turning the tables on.
All right, so selection time. It's like the big kid in the local footy team that's this tall and the rest that tall. Is that going to be the case on Sunday?
David and Goliath. Look, yeah, I think so. He's on top. Romantic Warrior. Look, I'm going to put Encountered in there for second as well, because Encountered was a horse that he raced really well in the Sasa Ladies Purse, back up to 2,000. He's had 2 goes over 2,000 and run well in both of them. The 7K in Generation, I think they'll race him, they'll run him like they did in the Derby, and he's a real stayer. And then in for 4th, Sword Point. He's had a bit of a renaissance in his last couple of starts.
Yeah, I went the way in this race, of course, of Romantic Warrior. I think they're going to find it very, very tough to beat him. He's probably just going to toy with them, to be fair, in this race, Romantic Warrior. He's on top. I think 5G Patch, second up, you could maybe question him, but he was held up a bit late last time out. He's normally puts in a good effort over the 2,000 metres. Nimble Nimbus, he, of course, has got relatively close, I guess you could say, to Romantic Warrior in the past. He comes into this for his second up assignment. And also number 8, Ensued, who, of course, won the Sasa Ladies Purse. He's got a lightweight here of the 123, and again, that was a good performance from him, but probably needs to find several lengths on Romantic Warrior.
There it is. They are the boys' selections for the running of race number 9. A reminder, all the races are previewed on the website hkjc.com, and click on audio and video for race by race analysis, which will feature Paul's selections, including Yeah, best bet. I can reach it today.
Yeah, the best bet is race 10, number 4, which is King Miles. This horse is really unlucky last time, missed the start and finished off really strongly. So from a low barrier draw, I think he can beat Mastermind. And race 11, the long shot. He will be a long shot. First starter in Hong Kong, a horse called Presslink, comes in with a rating of 75. Blinkers on for his debut run and was group placed in Queensland before he got here. He's had plenty of work to get him ready. So race 11, number 2. The play we're doing race number 4, numbers 5, 6, 7. Mark Wynn with View of the World, amazing run in a QQP.
Best bet race 5, number 7, Fast Network. He comes into with us with a few things that didn't go his way last time out. Zac Purton sticks with the Dennership trained gallop. I think he's an out-and-out 1,000 metre horse, and he's drawn high in race 5, number 7, Fast Network. Value would be race 4, number 2, Silver Up, another new recruit from another stable that's joined Mark Newton. He's trialled well recently. The stable got success on Wednesday night at Happy Valley. I think Silver Up, who's been trialling well, can run a race 4, number 2. And the QQP in race number 5, that's Fast Network's race, going horses 5, 7 and 8. That's Stellar Express for James McDonald, Fast Network, and Midori Glory, who's got the blinkers on.
Best bet comes up in race 3. First starter for Pierre Roncaris Teton rides, called Island Breezes. 5 trials. He's got better and better in each one. He won his most recent trial over Victory Sky. So race 3, number 7 is the best. Long shot race 2, Beauty Alliance. Wide draw of 13 over the 1,400 metres. He did place behind Top Peak last run back. Hasn't been asked to do too much in his trials and has been making some ground. So went out at 20 to 1 when third behind Top Peak. Hopefully he will be a bit of a value price in race number 2. He's number 8. He's also part of the play. Race number 2, 2 Ballistic Win, 3 Super Love Dragon and 8 Beauty Alliance in a QQP. 2, 3 and 8. That has been this very special edition leading into Sha Tin on Sunday. Diary appears on screen. 3 Group 2s the feature. Kaying Rising, Galaxy Patch, Romantic Warrior, the big 3. We're back to Happy Valley on Wednesday night for another 9-race program, and then Sha Tin a week on Sunday. But it is all about what's coming up right here in only 24 hours, 48 hours time, Paul.
Exactly, the big boys are coming out to play, and hopefully we'll get a big crowd, I'm sure we will, to see these top horses in Hong Kong.
Which one are you looking forward to seeing the most on?
I think seeing Romantic Warrior back. I think he's going to absolutely panel the field at the weekend to Romantic Warrior. And so we're going to get a real line-up of where the 3 big guns are and who they might take on, and some of the big races coming up here in December.
It is all starting to happen for racing in Hong Kong. We'll see you for the first. A reminder, an early start time, 1st of 11, 12:30 Sunday.